going out there today, guys? So today I've got a knife that I've been waiting on for a while now. Um, they announced these, I believe, in February of 2018, which was at Blade Show, and here it is now, November, and they're just starting to get them out to people. This is the Kershaw Copper Natrix. I'm sure it's got some number designation or something like that. But that's basically what people are referring to these as, the Copper Natrix. There's a model number on there for you. Yep. Yeah, so if you don't know about this knife, this is a new knife, like I said, from Kershaw. That's been highly anticipated, obviously, because there's a lot of copper junkies out there, like myself, and this thing has copper scales both sides, which is pretty rare on a knife, so that's pretty cool. Also features a D2 tool steel blade with a nice stone wash finish, a nice drop point blade. It's got some nice jimping up here. Got a backspacer, and I'm not sure. I think it's just a plastic backspacer. I would have liked to seen something a little bit more fancy with that, maybe some polished stainless or something like that. That's a subframe lock. Obviously, copper is pretty soft, and they needed something structurally to support the detent. So they do have a subframe lock in there that is attached to the copper scale. Yeah, pretty cool knife. Like I said, I'm a copper junkie, so I've been waiting on this thing. And I just got it the other day. So far, pretty impressed with it. It does have the KVT ball bearings in it, so it's a nice smooth open. I know some people have complained a little bit about the detent being a little strong on this thing, but on mine it's pretty nice. It's about where it needs to be. The frame lock is pretty stiff. But yeah, it's just a really cool knife. Let's see, what else we got? We got deep carry pocket clip, which is nice. Also reversible. So if you're right or left-handed, does have the name stamped on the pocket clip, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like the names and billboards on my knives. But Kershaw on the blade's pretty small, and I think it's done pretty tastefully, so no real issues there. Take a look at this thing. Does have a bit of a curve on the blade. Don't know what kind of issues that may give you. Resharpening, not any more than like a recurve or something like that. Alright. So let's get some of the stats on this guy. The blade length, according to their website, is 2.75 inches or 7 centimeters. The closed length is 3.6 inches or 9.3 centimeters. The overall length on this guy is 6.4 inches or 16.2 centimeters. And the weight comes in right around 3.2 ounces or 92 grams. And like I said, that's all specs from their websites. I've not weighed this thing or anything like that. I can tell you it's pretty light. And because it's so small. And that's going to bring me to my biggest gripe about this thing. And that is the size of it. I knew it was going to be a small knife with only a, 2 3/4 inch blade length on it. But honestly, this thing is quite a bit smaller than what I expected. If this guy was about 30% bigger, I would be absolutely in love with it. But yeah, it's just a really small knife. Let's get a couple out for comparison. So here I have my CRKT pillar custom with the copper scale on it. And as you can see, it's really, the CRKT I think is a little bit bigger, at least this way. You can see it's slimmer. Blade is a little bit longer, but really not that much. And just, I mean, this one feels bigger to me. It's heavier. Obviously, I've got the copper scale on there and the brass backspacer and all that, but I don't know why they went so small with this. I guess it was just to lighten it up. They didn't want it to be too heavy, but I would much prefer a little bit heavier knife if it was, like I said, about 30% bigger. Here's a Kaiser Dukes, another pretty small knife in my opinion. Most of the knives I carry are pretty big, and you can see that thing actually dwarfs that guy. So that's my biggest complaint about that, is like, man, I wish it was just a little bit bigger. I mean, it's still a nice knife, don't get me wrong. It's very reminiscent of a lot of ZTs, the way it's done. And, come on, work with me, camera. Get these guys out of the way, man, it'll work with me better. Very reminiscent of lots of ZTs, and looks like it's a relatively well-made knife. Nice round edges everywhere. Not any really hot spots or anything that I feel. Just that size is my biggest complaint. And on the copper scales themselves, it seems they went with like some sort of, I guess, bead blasted finish. Maybe they didn't want to pay for the labor to polish those things up real nice, but that's something I may try in the future. I may polish this guy up and smooth it all out and get them nice and shiny, kind of like the CRKT there, because I'm not sure how well this will patina. I guess time will tell, but I'm afraid that basically all it's going to do is turn black, and you're not going to get that nice patina like you do on some of these other things, like this Olight flashlight, 4.7s. That one's got some blue on it. It's pretty nice. That I've had for a long time. This one I've only had for about a month, I think. Now, I'm not sure what all the issues have been with Kershaw trying to get these things out to people. I know some people had said that they had talked to them and that Kershaw was worried about the scales patining before they could get them out to people. And Kershaw, I'm not really sure what the issue is with that, guys. I mean, all the copper flashlights and other knives that have copper and stuff like that I bought have all come in vacuum sealed bags. It's not that hard. You just wrap it in plastic and then vacuum seal that thing. But yeah, guys, that's my first impressions of my hands-on with the Kershaw Copper Natrix. Like I said, pretty cool knife. Definitely pretty cool if you're into the copper thing, and the D2 steel blade, and you know, if you're into smaller size knives, this may be the thing for you.